As it is a reduction, but you cannot ask for an increase in the offer. As long as it's listed on the multiple listing service, because the MLS is an offer of compensation. If this is a FSBO or a non-listed property, you have every right to discuss the commission in the offer. Okay. Once it's on the MLS, that's the offer of compensation. Okay.
When I've tried to present these, I don't get any balking of the time period or the fact whether it's an exclusive or a non-exclusive. It's the money. That's where they start to. Can you talk about some of the ways?
So what are they telling you?
If I put in 2.5, they're like, well, that seems like a lot, and I heard the commissions are negotiable, and I thought you'd maybe share some because Redfin will share some with me, or whoever is going to kick it back. And a couple times what I've done is said I filled it out where it's 2.5, but if there's anything over, they get it, which makes them happy, and there's so rarely anything over. As long as it's not a short sale, because I don't want to do all that work for less. And sometimes that's worked. And sometimes I filled it out that it's 2, knowing that it's most likely I'm going to get 2.5. But that's where they balk, so I wanted to hear your ideas on how you get them past that.
So they're balking on the fact that they actually have to pay you money.
Yeah. And I say, this is usually not what's going to happen. Usually the seller pays it, and if the seller doesn't pay it, I'll ask them to pay it before we present any offer. I'll do my best to get them to pay it, but I need to get paid. I told them I saw one once where it was only $150 compensation for a house in Minneapolis.
Well, let's see. The co-op fee offered by the listing agent is not payment to the buyer agent for work. It is an incentive or a lure, a carrot meant to bring in buyers. The only person who can pay you for your work is the person for whom you work. And I guess that I agree that the very hard part when you start out with somebody saying, "Hi, nice to meet you. Now I want you to agree to pay me $20,000." Wow, how do you work that? And the thing to do is to start out maybe a little bit softer and say, okay, well, let's just start for the day. Let's have a contract for the day. Let's have a contract for the week. And if you agree that I'm worth it, then we'll write another contract at the end of the week. It's surprising to me, but I think that to a general degree, our society is going more and more in the vein of I deserve quality without having to pay anything. Mm-hmm. I deserve it for free because I want it, as opposed to I'm worth everything I pay for. And I think that once you read through these quotes, you can internalize them for yourself to be able to say, it does seem like a lot of money, but it's only going to be if I find you a property, and if you purchase one of these properties that we find within the next 2 days, 7 days, whatever it is. And if we do find a property and you do need to pay me, you can bet that I'll be worth every penny you pay. But if I don't find you anything, there's no obligation for you to pay me. So let's talk about that and be able to have that discussion, but you've got to have it within yourself that you are, it's exactly like listing a property. You are going to do a lot for that person. So I'm going to suggest that you read through the broker authorizations and obligations, as well as the scope of duty, paragraphs 6 and 7. And when you read through that, you start laughing because you say, I do a lot more than that. I do a lot more than that. Holy crow, I go to escrow and I pick up their documents. I call them at 10 o'clock at night to tell them a property just came on the market. We have to go look at it tomorrow morning, and none of that is described in these paragraphs. What I know that what we do, what you do, is, and I've actually, for my buyers, I've taken what's in this paragraph, and I've got a buyer book that I give my buyers. And it's 2 pages of things that I do. And so when I first meet a buyer, and I always invite a buyer, first of all, to interview me, and I give them that list of duties. And then I tell them that what's in here is only a small portion. This is only what I'm obligated by law to do, but what I have given them in that book is what I really do. And therefore, you know, I think it's important for you to go through here and look at this and say, okay, if I'm going to represent, if 50% of my clients are going to be buyers, what do I want them to know about me, about what I do for them? How am I going to be the professional that they can say, you bet, I'll sign this, even if it's only for a week, even if it's only for 2 months. Figure out what you do and share it with them, because people don't know what we do. They have no idea how we get paid. Absolutely no idea. And the commercials that I hear for some, can't remember what it is, about Pacific Sales, where their staff are not on commission. Those, commission people are so not worth talking about. You are on commission. I'm on commission. I would like to be able to predict how much I get paid. This is going to help you get guaranteed that somebody's going to take you seriously, and you're going to take yourself seriously enough that you are going to earn every damn penny that you earn. And you're going to work real hard for it. So go through there, figure out what it is that you do, figure out what it is that you don't want to do, and put that on a separate, a separate, here's what I don't do. I don't go and look up permits at City Hall. I don't give legal advice. I don't give financial advice. So if you've got, here's what I do, and then the shorter list of here's what I don't do, you will certainly look and know yourself a lot more professionally than somebody who doesn't have that and just says, oh, I'd love to show you property. What time? I've got time Saturday afternoon. And then they get their car washed because they haven't been out showing property for 6 weeks. So there's a lot of the verbiage in here that it's silly for me to go through, but the concept is, first of all, you have to be the professional. You have to start out saying, for all the training that you have and that you are going to obtain, you are worth every penny that you are going to get paid. If you want to discount your commission, and I say discount, but that's not the right word. If you want to structure your commission in a way that's an hourly rate, you need to talk to Jim and Jack before you do that. You need to know that you cannot get any money in advance for services. It is against the law in California. And the law just changed 3 weeks, the 1st of October. You cannot obtain any fees in advance. It is against the law. Not for listing, not for buyer brokerage. There is a way potentially to get paid based on an hourly basis, but you've got to have an hourly fee structure, and you have to get Jim and Jack to approve it. You need to read word for word all of these buyer representation agreements, and you can see that what I've got on this chart are just the highlights, and they are compared a little bit with, you can see at the very bottom where I've compared it with the different listing agreements, so that you can understand an open listing is like an open buyer, okay? And an exclusive listing is like an exclusive buyer representation. You get the same kind of responsibilities and the same confidence that you're going to get paid as long as you do your job. And I do mean do your job. You can talk about the state of Connecticut that has decided that they need to have a law in order to protect their consumers and their real estate agents. And you can read the Code of Ethics and provide a copy of the Code of Ethics to everybody that you work with. No matter whether I represent a buyer or a seller, the first appointment that I have, a copy of the Code of Ethics is in the packet that I give them.
The whole thing? The
whole thing. You can download it from the NAR site. It's a PDF, 8-page document if you put it two-sided. And that's in my packet. I've had